Now I'm on.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Fort Zumwalt West High School. We are live right now at CBC as the CBC Cadets take on the Fort Zumwalt West Jaguars. Out in O'Fallon, Missouri, we're in the Tim Kylo broadcast booth on the road this week as the Cadets take on Fort Zumwalt West. My name is Randy Molman, Peter Demos alongside, and the CBC Cadets come in with a record of 2-0, Peter, and they've had a pretty easy way of it in the first two games.
Yeah, they sure have, and it's so much, again, has to do with speed. I went down and talked to some of the coaches and what have you for Zumwalt West here, and I asked him if he got the speed to kind of hang in there with him. He said, well, probably not, but we're going to do our best, and that's all you can ask.
Victors in their first game over Hickman, 66-7. That was in Columbia. They played at Faroe Field on the campus of the University of Missouri. They took down Jeff City last week at home, 49-14. After a tight game for about a quarter and a half, CBC just ended up running away with it. And Fort Zumwalt West comes in. They have a record of 1-1. They beat Holt 55-13 in week 1, and then were knocked off by crosstown O'Fallon rival Fort Zumwalt North 36-14. One of the things I noticed, Peter, is that Fort Zumwalt West is a ball control offense. 97 total plays from scrimmage running the ball and only 22 throwing it. Total of 573 on the ground in 2 games, averaging 5.9 a carry with 9 rush touchdowns. They're going to try to control the ball and keep CBC's offense off the field, but as we've said before, good luck with that.
Yeah, I'm not sure that's going to work against CBC. We'll have to see about that, but it's certainly a long way from the days when they had Drew Hare, the quarterback here. He is a quarterback up in northern Iowa. He took over for Lynch, remember, a great quarterback up there, and he's their starting quarterback up there. My goodness, they had such a good balanced attack, and with Drew throwing the ball all over the place. And there were some wonderful games with CBC versus this team here, and it was just fun to watch. Just a lot of fun.
We were talking before the game, these two teams have really had some great games over the years. 2013, CBC came here to open their season, got knocked off by the Jaguars. Last year, CBC returned the favor, but it even dates several years back, you were saying.
Oh, sure. I used to come up here when I wasn't affiliated with CBC so much just to watch T.J. Moe play. And T.J. Moe is just an outstanding football player. My goodness, he went with the, I guess he got injured, but he went with the Boston Patriots. So I'm dating myself because I went with them many, many years ago. They were called the Boston Patriots.
That's right.
Now they're New England Patriots. And I guess he ripped an Achilles tendon or something there, and then he came back out, and he worked pretty hard trying to get back with the Rams or whatever, but I think he made it to the last day of the cut. Anyhow, he's down there today, and he was looking forward to this game too. He has a lot of good memories.
Yeah, T.J. Moe, of course, a Mizzou great as well, played over at Mizzou in Columbia, one of the best receivers Mizzou's had in history, especially out of the slot, and he looks like he's doing some assisting for Fort Zumwalt West down on the sidelines. The Jaguars, like I said, 1-1, primarily a running team so far in the first 2 weeks, and behind the strength of senior running back Ethan Staskowitz. Keep an eye on him. 20 carries, 115 yards in week 1, 25 carries, 147 yards in week 2, and he's got a total of 5 touchdowns. It seems like the offense runs through that tailback.
Yeah, they sure do, and it's going to be interesting to see. We haven't faced the team, I don't believe, that has been that solid a running team, with just a slight use of the overhead pass. Now, that tells me they either don't have a quarterback or they don't have receivers, one of the two, or maybe both.
CBC's going to return the opening kickoff. The Jaguars will kick off, and it looks like Fort Zumwalt West will be kicking. Back deep for CBC. Looks like Cameron Babb.
No, the other way. There we go.
Cameron Babb is back deep, as well as Trey Bryant. They are back deep for CBC. As we are set to get underway here from Fort Zumwalt West. Here's the opening kickoff, and it sails down. Trey Bryant will take it at the 1. Here comes Bryant across the 5 to the right side now, following blockers across the 10, 15, 20, 25, 30. He's got a seam down the sidelines, and he may take it all the way.
He's gone.
Goodbye. 99 yards, and the defending state champs are on the board with 15 seconds into this contest, 6-0 Cadets.
And no penalties on the play, which makes it counts.
No penalties on the play, and CBC opens up at 11:45 of the first quarter. Trey Bryant, 99-yard kickoff return.
Wow. You know, I've never quite understood that coaching philosophy behind when you kick off. Maybe you don't want to get your starters hurt, but they generally don't put that many starters on the punt teams or the kickoff teams or whatever, and I think it hurts them.
Otto Etzel now will kick the extra point, the left-footed kicker, number 1. Snap back, ball down. The kick is up, and it is good. The kicker is hit after the kick, but oh no, he missed it. He left it wide left. He didn't hook it through, and it's 6-0 Cadets. You always hope that doesn't come back to bite you, Peter.
Yeah, you hope so. I'm pretty convinced, though, that this is not going to be a real close game. I could be wrong. I've been wrong once or twice in my life about something.
I've been wrong many more times than that, Peter.
I mean, I watched Trey on that one. He just kept on running. He just kept on running like a toddler's nose. I mean, this kid just really kept on going. I mean, he's got downright speed. You see how he lifted his knees? Someone's been training, somebody on the track team has been teaching him how to run faster by lifting your knees a little higher as you move.
I know in 2013 I did a lot of games with the freshman coach for CBC, Chris Maris. He sat in and did color, and he used to tell me that they would try to get some of these football players to run track.
Oh, absolutely.
So that they can, to teach them exactly what you're talking about. Lift the knees, get some more speed and leverage. Trey Bryant wasn't even touched on that kickoff return.
No, he really wasn't.
Great blocking up front by the Cadets, and we are only 15 seconds into this one. CBC already leads 6-0. Well, Etzel will now kick off.
Well, let's see if West can return the favor.
Fort Zumwalt West now will return, and here's the kick by Etzel, and it's a squib kick right down the middle of the field. Picked up right at about the 24-yard line, across the 30 before being wrestled down by the Cadets. The Cadets going left to right on your screen. White road jerseys with the purple pants and gold and purple trim. Fort Zumwalt West going right to left wearing their black jerseys with purple and white trim. So it'll be 1st down and 10 for the Jaguars at their own 32. And the starting quarterback for the Jaguars is Jake Strauss. And Strauss wears number 7. As he comes into the game. Watch out once again, tailback number 2, Ethan Staskowitz, the senior. 2 games in a row over 100 yards, 2 games in a row, 20-plus carries. We'll see if the Jaguars can get something going here. 1st and 10 at the 32. Strauss keeps it himself, goes up the middle, and he's met by the defense led by Dominique Gatewood. You know, we do have a note on this defense. If you want to give us, Peter, the starters, we'll notice that Kevin Kirkbride, the senior, is out with a torn ACL, and that's tough for him.
You know, remind me to talk about ACLs in a while, but yeah, we have in the down linemen Miles Taylor, Dominic Gatewood, and Nick Wheeler, and then we have several linebackers. So how many are we going with? 3 down linemen, and then the rest line 1, 2, 3, yeah.
Yep.
And linebackers after that.
Strauss pumps now, looking, and he's sacked. That's back at the 25.
So we have Clay Stalling at linebacker, Gavon Burke.
Yep, Burks was in on that tackle right there.
Brandon Zamuda, Derek Speltz, Rashad Davis will be in and out, and then of course Cameron Babb he'll do duty on the offense also. At the DBs, Lamar Anderson, Brent Bledsoe, Bryant Bledsoe, Benji Gormley, Tyler England, Rashad Davis, and there's going to be, in a hot night, coach is going to put a lot of different kids in.
Oh, yeah, there'll be a lot of rotation on a warm night like this. Almost 90 degrees. Strauss in the flat. That's caught back to the original line of scrimmage. Tackled on the play by Rashawn Davis. And making the catch there was number 11, Marquise Majors, the sophomore wide receiver.
I'm so impressed with number 7, Rashawn Davis, and the way he tackles. He tackles like an NFL corner.
We talked about it last week. It's so valuable to have corners who not only can tackle but are willing to go up and tackle.
Yeah. They call those guys a shutdown corner.
So Fort Zumwalt West now will punt. 4th down and 8 from their own 34. Snap is high, comes down with it, and it's a short kick, very, very short. It lands at about the 47, takes a CBC bounce, rolls out of bounds at the Fort Zumwalt West 49. That's only a 15-yard punt for Fort Zumwalt West, and the Cadets take over with a short field, 1st down and 10.
Yeah, now our offense. CBC's offense at center, Nino Schmidt. At right guard, Ty Feeney. At left guard, Brady Swanson. Right tackle, Justin Lewis. At left tackle, Max Durrell. Tight end, Benji Gormley. And then receivers, Lamar Anderson and Roderick Bryan. Running back, Caleb Allen, Trey Bryant. And at quarterback, Blake Charlton.
Blake Charlton, 18 of 24 this year, 75% completion percentage. This is Trey Bryant, who returned the opening kick for a touchdown. He gets about to the 45 before being tackled on the play by number 45, Matt Harris. Harris, the sophomore linebacker, 6'4", 200 pounds. Good size for a sophomore linebacker there.
I'm looking at Roderick Bryant coming down here the near side.
He has a definite size advantage.
Yeah, he sure does.
On that corner. Charlton now in the flat. Trey Bryant catches. He's got plenty of room. Inside the 40, 35-30, down the sideline. He may go. Touchdown, CBC. No flags, 45 yards. Trey Bryant has touched the ball 3 times, and he scored twice.
That's a pretty good average. Again,
so,
speed. And like I say, I talked to their coach a little bit before the game, and I asked them if they could keep up with the speed, and he said they're going to try. Well, they're trying, but not very hard for some reason. It's hard to stay up with speed.
Otto Etzel will now attempt the extra point. Snap back, ball is down, the kick is up, and this time it is good. He missed his first extra point, and CBC now leads 13-0 with 9:13 to play in the first quarter. Hey, Cadet fans, are you protected? Call State Farm agent and CBC alum Tim Kylo for all of your insurance needs. Tim is more than the best insurance guy in town. He's also the presenting sponsor of CSN, and we're incredibly grateful for his support. Call Tim, 314-842-4442, or shoot him an email, tim@timkylo, that's KILO.com. So the Cadets open up with a 99-yard kickoff return, a 3-and-out, and a 2-play drive covering 49 yards, and it's 13-0.
Wow.
So they'll line up to kick off now. Etzel comes back out. He'll line it up on the right hash at the 40-yard line. Number 21 for Fort Zumwalt West. That is Kellen Johnson, and number 11, Marquise Majors, back deep for the Jaguars. See what CBC has in store on this kickoff. We know Coach Pingle likes to do some funky things with these kickoffs. This time it'll go deep. That ball will sail all the way back into the end zone, and the Jaguars will take over at the 20. Jake Strauss, the starting quarterback, is 9 of 19 so far this year coming into the game today. 1 touchdown, 2 interceptions. That's a 47% completion percentage. We said it at the top. The Jaguars like to run the ball, but if they get behind early, that's not gonna. You're not going to be able to get back in this game just by running the ball.
No, then the team just has to say, well, this game is pretty much done. Let's just practice and get ready for the next game. And that's pretty much what it comes down to sometimes.
Jake Strauss wears number 7. He's a senior, 5'11", 186. He has one tailback in with him, and that is, of course, Ethan Staskowitz, the senior tailback who's rushed for over 300 yards so far this year, 5 total touchdowns in their first 2 games. There's the high snap, and they give it to Staskowitz. He's got room up the middle, and he rumbles across the 25 to the 26. Good pickup on first down. It'll be 2nd and 4. My name's Randy Molman, Peter Demos alongside. You're watching CBC football on the Cadet Student Network. The Cadets taking on the Jaguars of Fort Zumwalt West. It is 13-0 with under 9 minutes to go here in the first quarter. There's another fake, and Staskowitz takes it, trying to get to that first down marker, and he'll get to the 29. So that'll bring up a 3rd and a long 1, it looks like, for the Jaguars.
They got a couple of big boys on that offensive line. Number 65, Randy Davidson, he's about 288 pounds. And there's another 79, Michael Schlatak, at 278 pounds.
Yeah, they've got a good-sized offensive line.
How'd you like to feed those guys every night? Better get a bigger refrigerator.
You had to feed a quarterback. That probably wasn't easy either.
Yeah, I couldn't get him to eat much.
Up the middle for a first down. That's Jake Strauss across the 30 to the 31. And Fort Zumwalt West sticking with the game plan, running the football, trying to eat some clock, putting a long drive together. CBC number 11, Nick Wheeler, 6'1", 215. He's playing on the outside today with Gatewood in the middle, and I believe Miles Taylor is the other end, as Peter mentioned earlier, as the 3 starters. It is hot. High 80s, humid.
Yeah, there's going to be some cramping towards the end of this game, I can almost bet.
Strauss keeps it himself. He's hit and knocked down in the backfield. Gatewood in on the stop, as well as number 3, Gavon Burks. Looks like a 1 or a 2-yard pickup. It'll be 2nd and 9, they're saying, at the 33. Some Jaguar fans still filing in and probably surprised to look up at that scoreboard. Staskowitz lines up to the right of Strauss. He takes the snap. He keeps it himself, now throws it over the middle, incomplete.
Well, I can kind of see why they don't have a passing attack, if that's indicative of how they pass. That was just a pass into the patch of turf. There was nobody within 6 or 7 yards of that pass.
Ryan Knapp looked to be the intended receiver, but he was engaged blocking a linebacker. So there was no receiver ready for that pass from Strauss, and it'll be 3rd down and 9 from the 33.
I think everybody just blocked him out. They didn't let him get out and past the line of scrimmage. Good way to stop a pass. But a good receiver knows how to get past that.
You got to shed that block and get open.
That's it.
Strauss now out of the pistol. He's got Staskowitz behind him. Here's the snap. He turns. He looks. Now he almost goes down. He escapes, runs to the right, fires over the middle, and it's caught.
What a great play.
Wow, what a nice play by Jake Strauss. Avoided the rush, ran to his right, and as he was falling down, completed the pass up to the 47-yard line to number 5, Logan Williams, the sophomore receiver.
That was equal to a TJ Moe play, wouldn't you say?
Very, very indicative of the type of playmaker Moe was when he played here. First down and 10 now at the 47. There's a handoff to Staskowitz. He's going over the left side. Here comes the speed of the CBC defense, and they're going to catch him over on the sideline. No gain. Looked like a loss, but Staskowitz moved upfield and got back to the line of scrimmage at least. Number 20, Brian Bledsoe, and number 3, Gavon Burks were in pursuit. Bledsoe is subbing in, playing on the interior defensive line. CBC will be doing a lot of substituting here today with this hot weather. They say he picked up a yard to the 47, so 2nd and 9. Strauss out of the shotgun, now fires to the sideline. That's caught across the CBC 45, and that was complete to number 88. That's Josh White, another sophomore wide receiver. A lot of these playmakers on the outside for Fort Zumwalt West, very young, Peter.
Yeah, and look at this kid, 21. Name is Johnson. I'm expecting some fireworks from him sooner or later. I think he had an older brother that played for the team here. It was very good.
Kellen Johnson listed at 5'5", 122. Handoff up the middle. There it is. First down. Ball's loose. And it rolls out of bounds. It'll stay with Fort Zumwalt West. Ethan Staskowitz had a first down, and CBC knocked the ball free, but it rolled out of bounds, and it'll be a first down for the Jaguars, who are methodically moving down the field now at the CBC 35.
Good enough for a Jaguar.
Jake Strauss gets the play from the sideline, now comes back. Staskowitz lined up behind him in the pistol formation. One receiver to his left, one spread out to the right. Strauss fakes it, keeps it himself, tackled in the backfield. Good play in the backfield there, worked off the block. That was 87, Benji Gormley.
Yeah, Benji.
Benji plays a little wide receiver, caught a few balls last week.
Absolutely.
We're in the first quarter, 5:18 and counting. 13-0 CBC over Fort Zumwalt West. Loss of 2 on the last play. 2nd down and 12 out of the pistol. Strauss fakes, steps back, looking, fires down the middle of the field, and he overthrows his man. Good coverage on the play by Rashawn Davis. That pass was intended for, looked like Marquise Majors, I think, another sophomore. Their 3 wide receivers are sophomores, and Kellen Johnson is a junior. So a lot of underclassmen here in the skill positions around Jake Strauss. Strauss to the left, now fires to the right. It's caught. Majors avoids a tackle and gets inside the 30 to the 32-yard line. Good move and good run after catch by Majors.
A little short of the first down. It'll be 4th down, huh?
4th and short at the 37. And it looks like the Jaguars will go for it. This is the area of the field, especially in high school football, Peter, where it's no man's land. It's too long for a field goal, too short to punt. You might as well go for it. 2 backs lined up now to the right and left of Strauss, right in front of him. I assume will be taking on lead blocker duties, and I would suspect this might be a quarterback keeper, but a timeout called, and that is called by the Jaguars. Hey fans, the weather's been beautiful the last few weeks, which means a lot of grilling and barbecue fun, especially this weekend, Peter. It's Labor Day weekend. I mean, that's a big grilling weekend.
Oh, absolutely.
When you want to fire up the grill, go visit our friends at Kenrick's Meat and Catering. Steaks, roasts, burgers, brats, delicious deli trays. The folks at Kenrick's have it all. Stop in and see Joe the Butcher and his crew for the best cuts around. If you crave it, Kenrick's has it. Check them out in South County on Weber Road, or visit them online at kenricks.com. They also have a great restaurant inside. The best catering prices in town. So make sure you give them a call. 314-631-2440. That's 314-631-2440. And it is a perfect weekend to go visit our friends at Kenrick's Meats and Catering and pick up some stuff for the grill, which you should have fired up all weekend on a beautiful weekend like this.
Well, now you made me hungry.
It's funny. I ate on the way out to the football game tonight, and I read that, and I get hungry all over.
Oh, yeah. Well, we're going to go up to Iowa State in their new stadium there. It's sold out, 61,000 people for that game tomorrow.
And you're heading up there to see Dalton?
Dalton, yeah. And they're playing Iowa State, and it's going to be kind of fun. We're going to go and get there a little bit early and partake in a little of that grilling.
There you go.
Got some friends up there, so that should be kind of fun. And they don't start till 7 o'clock at night, so it should be, and it's supposed to be warm up there. It's getting the early 90s up there also. That's kind of unusual for that far north this time of year.
Really is. And just as a reminder to everybody listening, Peter Demos alongside his son Dalton Demos, former CBC great, plays quarterback for Northern Iowa, and they're taking on Iowa State tomorrow night, 7 o'clock. Out of the pistol, handoff. Gaskowitz is not going to make it. CBC in the backfield, led by number 11, Nick Wheeler. He led the charge, and the ball will turn over on downs, and CBC will have it 1st and 10. A good long drive from the Jaguars, but it turns up no points.
Well, that's not entirely correct about what's going to happen with Dalton. They're short of whiteouts. They turned him into a whiteout this week.
They did.
Yeah, it's a little disappointing, but then again, he volunteered to do it because they just don't have. They got a couple of guys hurt. Guy pulled a hammy. I mean,
from what you've told me about Dalton, from what I've heard about him from other CBC alums that saw him play, he wants to be on the field.
That's right.
And if this is an opportunity to get on the field, I guess people shouldn't be surprised. That's Lamar Anderson in the flat around the right side across the 40. They're going to be a penalty flag, and from where that is thrown, we're probably looking at a hold.
Yep.
Flag was thrown behind the play by the head linesman, and there it is, holding on CBC. That'll bring that 1st down play back.
Yeah, I'm anxious to see the new stadium up there.
So will he get snaps at wide receiver?
Oh, yeah. Because they don't have anybody that's 6'6" that can run that fast.
I mean, what is he now, 6'6", and what does he weigh these days?
About 212, 215.
That's a good size receiver right there.
Yeah, you mentioned that some time ago, feeding him. I couldn't get him to eat much. He's one of these kids that just... He's not like
naturally big like that.
Well, I just couldn't get weight on him.
So now 1st and 18 after the penalty for the Cadets. Trey Bryant goes in motion. Charlton fires to the right side, caught by Roderick Bryant. He stiff arms his way across the 30 before he's hit out of bounds. The Jaguar that's covering him tonight is Jaden Brown, who is a 5'7" junior defensive back. Roderick Bryant is 6'2", 180, and there's a significant size advantage, and I expect CBC to take advantage of that a lot here tonight. Charlton looks to the left, fires. He's got a man open,
nice
and that's
catch.
Trey Bryant.
Wow, what a nice pass.
Trey Bryant out of the backfield, runs a route, catches it at the 45. We haven't seen Trey Bryant run a route downfield like that all night. It's just another wrinkle Coach Pingle puts into the game plan.
And Charlton just threw a perfect pass. Had good spin on that ball. It was just perfect.
We just learned before the game today, Blake Charlton is going to go to Mizzou to play baseball.
Yep, that's it. This is his last season of football.
I approve, Peter.
I do too.
Trey Bryant caught in the backfield. Fort Zumwalt West sniffed that one out. A good defensive play there, led by number 12, Christian Kerr, the linebacker. He got into the backfield and disrupted that play. Second down and 11, loss of 1. CBC leads 13-0. We're in the first quarter.
Oh, what a catch.
Good catch over in the flat.
Wow.
That's Babb. Cameron Babb, the 6-foot sophomore.
That was a D1 receiver catch if I ever saw one. That thing was way out to his right towards the sideline. He left his feet almost to get the ball, and he got it with his hands and brought it in without dropping it. What a great, unfortunately, it wasn't for too many yards.
So third down and 6 now for the Cadets. We have another timeout called. This time it'll be called by CBC.
Perfect weather tonight, although I would like to have a little cooler out here. There's not one breath of wind out here at all.
No, it's very still. When you look at the American flag over on the side of the field, it is limp, not moving at all.
Yeah, it's hiding behind the pole.
It is. You can't even see it.
I can't even see it.
You can't even see it.
It's a very unfriendly flag tonight because it's not waving at anybody.
CBC leads here in the first quarter. It is 13-0, 2:52 to play here in the first quarter. The Cadets opened the game with a 99-yard kickoff return by Trey Bryant. He wasn't touched. Caught it in the middle of the field, took off over to the right side, and down the sideline he was gone. Then CBC forced a 3-and-out by Fort Zumwalt West, and the next possession, 2 plays and a 45-yard touchdown on a pass from Charlton to Bryant. Bryant doing most of the work on that play.
I'm looking for him to go to Broderick again here.
Third down and 6.
Here it comes. He's looking at him.
Fires. It's caught. Lamar Anderson wide open. He sat down in the zone, and he gets inside the 40 to the 38. Lamar Anderson was sprinting downfield and stopped and just sat right in the zone. No one even around him.
No one even around him. Well, Roderick was going right alongside him, and Roderick went long. The other kid stopped, and it kind of faked everybody out, and there wasn't anybody within 5 yards.
Lamar Anderson came into today. He's already had 2 catches here tonight, and Lamar Anderson came in today with 5 catches for 77 yards. He is a dynamite, explosive player. You can utilize him in the backfield, you can utilize him in the slot, and split out wide. There's a handoff. That is Caleb Allen, who busts free, and he gets inside the 20 to the 19 for a big gain. That's a 19-yard pickup for Caleb Allen, and he's been a good complement to Trey Bryant this year.
His starting speed, I would say, is at least 20% better than it was last year. He's very quick this year.
That'll be first down and 10. Make that a 18-yard pickup. They mark it at the 20. Charlton takes the snap, hands it to Allen once again over the right side, cuts it back up in the middle, now dances back to the outside. We may get another hold.
Down 74, I think.
Looks like number 74, that's Justin Lewis, I think will be called with that hold, the senior offensive lineman.
It's okay to tackle your opponent, but not when you're on offense.
That's a message for all of you football fans.
That's right.
There. So that'll get marked off against the Cadets. 2:20 to play, first quarter. 13-0 CBC, marked back to the 31. That'll make it a first down and 21 for CBC. 2 receivers to the left, 1 down here to the right is Roderick Bryant. There's a fake to Lamar Anderson. He's going to go. He's got a man wide open. Touchdown, Cameron Babb.
Wow.
21 yards. The fake was to Lamar Anderson. Fort Zumwalt West bit, and Cameron Babb was wide open.
I mean, Charlton was just one heck of a salesman on that one. He looked at him, and then he faked throwing it to him, and that gave him enough time to get free in the end zone. Boy, that was a beautiful play.
Etzel now will attempt the extra point. Babb, 21 yards from Charlton. The extra point is up, and it is good. So CBC now takes a 20-0 lead. You are watching CBC football on the Cadet Student Network.
Home, business, or life insurance. For more than 23 years, Tim has helped his clients manage the risks of everyday life and realize their dreams. For all your insurance needs, contact one of our school's most loyal alums, Class of 77 graduate Tim Kylo at 314-842-4442 or send him an email, tim@timkylo.com. Call State Farm.
We're back at Fort Zumwalt West High School. CBC leads 20-0, 2:10 to play first quarter. The Cadets have 2 drives for touchdowns and a kickoff return for a touchdown so far here today, and it is 20-0. We're not out of the first quarter just yet.
Yeah, my thoughts also. We haven't got into the second quarter yet, and it's 20-0.
Etzel kicks off. That's to the corner. Looks like Majors will take it at the 5. Across the 10, 15, up the middle to the 20, out to the 22 before being brought down on the play by number 3. That's Gavon Burks. And boy, that Gavon Burks is all over the field. Special teams, plays corner. They'll move him inside and have him rush the passer. That's the thing CBC has that other teams struggle to match, is the versatility, not just the speed. We talk about the speed every week, but a lot of these guys are so versatile. They can play different positions on the field. They come from all over. Burks right now is lined up. He'll be lined up on the slot as a linebacker, and a lot of times he'll go to the corner or to the outside and he'll cover their best wide receiver.
Sure. Well, one of the advantages that CBC does have is that, success breeds success. So you have a good winning season like they did last year, you start attracting the better athletes.
Strauss, high snap, ball's on the ground. He picks it up and falls on it at the 15. That play was busted before it even got started with the high snap.
Another big factor is the fact that they have a couple of sports football academies in the area. And, these CBC kids play year-round, basically. They're playing 7-on-7s. There are every Sundays and Wednesday nights they're in working on with some really good pro athletes that are kind of teaching on the side, and they're very skillful besides being quick.
Empty backfield now, 5 wide receivers. Strauss pulls it and throws down the sideline, and that ball was broken up.
Yep.
The CBC defender was beaten down the field, and the ball was a little underthrown, and that allowed Rashawn Davis to come back and bat it away before the reception was made.
And Coach Dimovitz, he was jumping up and down at that play. He loved that one. He left. I've never seen him jump so high.
Good recovery by Davis. So now 3rd and 17 from the 15-yard line. And the Jaguars have now employed more receivers in the game. They had 5 last time. They've got 4 in the game now. And we're going to get a penalty flag before that play even gets started. Usually means a false start. Let's see if that's the call. It is.
Yep.
I've now been right on 2 calls tonight, Peter. That's a first.
Well, you're increasing your better average now. Normally it's about a minus average.
I don't want people to expect that I'm going to be right, because that's not good either.
No, they've accused you of being a guesser.
That's right. Strauss gets the play from the sidelines. They signal it in. 3rd and 21 for Fort Zumwalt West. Already trailing 20-0 with 1:24 to play first quarter. Strauss lines up in the pistol. He has Staskowitz behind him. Takes a snap, steps up in the pocket, fires down the field. He's got a man that broke free, but he threw it a little too long. That was intended for number 21, Johnson. Johnson looks like he's got some speed.
Oh, he's definitely quick. Very, very quick, but he's a very small target in the middle of the Mighty Mouse.
So now into punt. Looks like Strauss will do the punting. Last time, the punt only traveled 15 yards and set CBC up with a short field, which they capitalized on. Babb is back deep. He already has a punt return for touchdown this year. He did it in game 1 against Hickman. Fort Zumwalt West with some personnel issues as a lineman sprints back to the sideline. Here's the snap, and there's the punt. This is a much better punt than last time. Babb takes it at the 49. Makes his first man mitts, goes to the outside, inside the 40, inside the 30, before being run out of bounds on the play. Flags were flying.
Yeah, a little block in the back, I'm afraid, here.
And we're going to get a block in the back on CBC, but they'll still have great field position to start this drive.
That could have been a block in the butt, too. That's in the back.
Block on the backside.
Yeah, that's bad, yes.
That's right. Somewhere on the backside.
Yes. I had a coach tell me one time, he said, listen, if you can't see both numbers in the front, then don't bother.
Let it go.
Yeah, you only see one number, don't touch it. Well, a coach, what if there's only one number? Hit him.
Good question.
I got confused.
Even after the penalty, CBC will start in Fort Zumwalt West territory, barely though, just inside midfield. The Cadets have Lamar Anderson and Trey Bryant. Now Anderson will step into the right slot. Charlton has Bryant to his left.
Are we still in the first quarter?
Still in the first quarter, 1:08 to play.
Uh-oh.
Fake to Anderson. Charlton keeps it on the delay, and he'll get 2. It'll be second and maybe 3, 2nd and 7.
Kind of wish he wouldn't run up the middle like that. He's got so much potential. I'd hate to see a knee or something other. I know he's not going to play football anymore, but gosh, he's got his whole career without seriously getting hurt.
That's that read option play we talked about last week. Charlton out of the shotgun now, hands it. That's Anderson, makes the first man miss, weaves his way inside the 40 to the 39. That'll be a first down for CBC.
Nifty little run that was.
The Cadets on the march again, leading 20-0.
He faked right, he faked left, he faked right, he faked right again, and still gained what?
These guys can put their foot in the ground and change direction with the best of them.
Boy, I'll say.
Charlton takes that snap, gives it to Anderson again, who finds some room inside the 35, gets down to the 33, went over the right side of that offensive line this time. Got about 5. It'll be 2nd and 5, and that may be the last play of the first quarter. We'll see. Clock's running down inside 10 seconds.
No, they might try to get it off.
They may try to get this one off. We'll see. And they will. No. They will not. They were waiting for Anderson to come in motion, and by the time he got set, the first quarter buzzer went off. The first quarter comes to an end. CBC leads 20-0 over Fort Zumwalt West. We'd like to say a big hello to the member of the CBC class of 1975. Those members are celebrating their 40th high school reunion tonight, and they're watching the action on the Cadets Student Network. Now, by the time they do watch it here later this evening, they might have a couple of pops in them by then, Peter.
Quite possibly.
You never know. Thanks for making CSN a part of your reunion, and thank you for your continued support of CBC. It's alums like you who make CBC stronger than ever. That's the class of 1975 celebrating their 40th reunion here tonight.
Had a pretty successful golf tournament, too. Did you read about that?
I did read about that, and we'll touch on that at halftime. What a great, the CBC Alumni Open. 430 golfers were involved. More than 430 golfers. How about that?
I think I was behind all of them.
Did the round go slowly?
Well, because they played in. Yeah, it did.
You were going to try to sugarcoat it, but there's no need.
No. But a good time was had by all. And
that's good. It sounds like it. And there were over 100 volunteers that also helped with that event. CBC stronger than ever. What a great alumni base. 2nd and 5 now for the Cadets as we start the second quarter, and we'll get a false start on the Cadets.
I wish I could grab some of that money from my tennis courts. Well, I have, I teach or I coach the CBC tennis team.
Yes.
And our courts are getting, let's say it's kind of equal to a 1953 Buick.
Oh.
Those courts are getting kind of tired right now.
They're getting tired. Actually, the penalty was on the Jaguar, so that'll make it second in inches.
Yep.
These types of downs and distances are where Coach Pingle really likes to take shots. We'll see what happens here. Second and short for CBC. There's the snap. Fake to Bryant. Fires down the side, looking for Roderick Bryant. Incomplete.
Yeah.
Brandon Douglas is also checked in, the junior. He's split wide to the left on this drive now. Gormley is also in the game, number 87. CBC and Fort Zumwalt West will be doing a lot of substituting here in and out of the game tonight with this heat. The game started and it was comfortably over 85 degrees. Charlton to Bryant. Bryant reverses field back to the left, up the middle now, and he will fight his way inside the 25. That'll be a first down for the Cadets on third and short. That'll move the chains, and CBC's driving here. They're at the 24 of Fort Zumwalt West, and they get back to the line of scrimmage quickly, and this is where the defense starts to wear down when that Cadet offense goes right back into formation. Charlton back, looking. Now he fires into the flat. That ball is caught by Bryant. He slips, but he maintains his footing, and he gets close to a first down. That'll get called back. One of CBC's offensive linemen will be called for the hold.
Yeah, I gave him a little extra hug there, I think.
That's another thing. Look at the two numbers on the front, and don't connect your hands around somebody.
No. Well, a lot of the defensive, offensive linemen, they pick out their gloves to match the defense's jersey. So it's really hard to see you hold or grab a shirt because it kind of all blends together. Now, I'm not saying I ever did that because I was never an offensive lineman, but I know some kids that we played with that did do that.
Those holding calls here in high school football are spot fouls, and that was well in the backfield. So that'll bring CBC back 16 yards from the line of scrimmage. It'll be first and 26. Charlton looking for the screen. He's got Bryant inside the 30, and he fumbles.
CBC recovered.
It looked like the Cadets pounced on it. We'll see. Roderick Bryant took a shot there as he was heading downfield. The ball popped free, but the Cadets recover. And so they'll maintain possession. It'll be second and about 12. Got 14 yards out of that 16-yard penalty back.
Justin Williams is in now. 24?
24.
Yeah.
That is Justin Williams. Charlton fires right in between two defenders, and that was number 16 who had checked in the series, Brandon Douglas. He makes the catch, and Charlton had to thread the needle there. Good throw. That'll make it third and 5. A long 4, we'll say, for the Cadets. At the 19-yard line of Fort Zumwalt West. Charlton keeping himself. He's got some room. He weaves inside the 10, inside the 5, touchdown.
Wow.
19-yard scamper for Blake Charlton, and CBC extends their 20-0 lead.
Well, I'm looking down at the west sideline, and there's a lot of dejection and disappointment down there right now.
We've just started the second quarter. Otto Etzel will kick the extra point. Snap back, ball down. The kick is up, and it is good. So CBC now leads 27-0, and you're watching CBC football on the Cadet Student Network.
Do you want to get bigger, faster, stronger, more powerful, and actively prevent injuries? From high school and college to professional and Olympic athletes, world-class sports performance at the Lab Gym will get you ready to compete at the highest level. Call Director of Sports Performance, Matt Miller, at 314-932-7270 or visit their website, labgym.com. Or just stop into the gym at 5035 Manchester Avenue to see for yourself.
This is Matt Miller with World Class Sports Performance at the Lab Gym. Make sure to check us out online. Stop by for a free tour. We're here to help you maximize your athletic potential.
World Class Sports.
We are back at Fort Zumwalt West High School. There is 10:17 to play here in the first quarter. Or second quarter, excuse me. CBC leads 27-0. There's the kickoff. It's taken at the 1. Across the 10, 15, 20. Up the middle, across the 15. Gets out to about the 25-yard line. Majors on the return. Actually, that might be Johnson.
You recognize this gentleman sitting next to us?
I do recognize TJ Moe sitting to our left.
There he is.
TJ Moe is, of course, the Fort Zumwalt West great and the Mizzou great. Taken in the game tonight.
Like I said before, I used to come from miles just to watch this kid play football.
1st and 10 for the Jaguars at the 25. 10:09 to play, second quarter, 27-0. CBC on top. Fort Zumwalt West looking to put a drive together. Hey, the band has entered the stands. They're doing a little pumping up here of this crowd. Trying to get this crowd into the game. Strauss takes the snap, looks, fires down the left sideline. He's got a man, and it is just overthrown.
He got the T-Rex arms on that one. Only had him extended about 3/4. If he would have thrown his arms all the way out, he might have caught
Good
that.
coverage on the play and a nice throw by Strauss.
Sure was.
It'll be 2nd down and 10 at the 25.
TJ would have caught that.
TJ would have taken that to the house.
Absolutely.
That's true. He would have been throwing it back then.
He could throw it to himself. You ever seen him do that?
2nd and 10 at the 25 now. Out of the pistol, Strauss. 2 receivers. One at the top of your screen. Takes the snap, looks downfield, now steps up in the pocket, and he's going to get sacked. Number 47, that's Darren Bennett, the junior. Sacks Strauss, and it'll be 3rd and long now for the Jaguars. 3rd and about 13.
TJ just left saying something like, I don't remember it being like this when I played. We used to have our way with CBC.
It's a different story now. The Cadets have won 16 straight games dating back to last year. They're the defending Class 6 state champion. And they have carved 2 wins out. There's a good pass right there in the slot, or over the middle, out of the slot. And that's
21.
Yeah, that's the little guy, Kellen Johnson. And Kellen Johnson, he's got good speed. You get that guy in the open field, he's going to make some people miss.
Oh, you bet. I still think he'll go for a touchdown tonight.
That was a 3-yard gain. It'll be 4th down and 10, and Strauss will hang in the game and punt. Back deep is Babb.
Nice to have a quarterback that can punt, isn't it?
Yeah, it seems like everyone now has quarterbacks who punt. Charlton punts for CBC. The guy last week for Jeff City, he was their punter as well, their quarterback. This is the soccer style or rugby style punt. Babb picks it up at the 34 to the left side across the 40, and he steps out of bounds at the 45, and that's where CBC will take over. 1st down and 10 for the Cadets.
I tried to teach my son how to punt.
You did?
Yeah, I tried, and he kicked himself in the forehead. He said, I'm not doing that anymore, Dad. It hurts. I said, well, you got to kick the ball first. Don't miss the ball.
At least it wasn't like you weren't being like Lucy on the Charlie Brown cartoons.
No,
pulling balls back and watching them fly.
That's so classic. She would go through such a story every single year to convince Charlie Brown that she was not going to pull that football away. Oh, that was infantile. That's not me anymore. I'm a grown-up.
Anymore? Did you just say anymore?
Anymore.
1st down and 10. 8:34 to play, second quarter. Cadets 27, Jaguars nothing. Williams in the backfield. Fake to Williams. They fire it to Gormley. Gormley across the 40, inside the 35, inside the 30. Finally tackled on the play by number 3, Jaden Brown. But a big gain for CBC. Almost 30 yards, 28-yard pickup.
What's Charlton's stats so far? Is he like 6 out of 7 or 5 out of 6?
I don't remember too many incompletions to this point.
Yeah,
that's what we need to lobby for, a stat guy. We got to get a stat guy in this booth. Patrick Walsh, if you're listening, we need a stat guy. Stat. In the flat, Gormley again takes it around the edge, and he gets, and he lowers his shoulder inside the 20 before going out of bounds.
Just like his dad did. His dad did the same thing. He'd lower his shoulder.
Benji Gormley at 6 feet, 175, got to the edge, and by the time he got to the marker, a defender came up, lowered that left shoulder, and rumbled over him to get that first down.
I always preferred a lip and eyebrow fake. Every time I lowered a shoulder, I went right to the hospital.
Cadets on the march again, 1st and 10 at the 16. This is Williams up the middle, inside the 10, down to about the 5, and it looks like another CBC first down, an 11-yard pickup for Justin Williams.
I believe we're going to see Tyler Gabbert's little brother play tonight. Freshman quarterback.
I imagine Brett Gabbert will get a little time if the score continues to grow here at Fort Zumwalt West. 8 minutes and counting, 1st and goal at the 5 for CBC. Putting on a clinic here thus far. Williams in the backfield along with Caleb Allen. So 2 tailback set out of the shotgun. Read option will be in effect here. Charlton takes the snap, hands it to Williams. Williams over the right side, met at the line of scrimmage, breaks the tackle, and rumbles his way, carries the pile. Touchdown, CBC.
What a great effort that was. My goodness.
Williams was trapped in the backfield, broke the tackle, dragged the tackler for a yard, and then pushed the pile into the end zone for a touchdown. And CBC has had the ball now 4 times and have scored 4 touchdowns. Otto Etzel will come in to attempt the extra point. He's been busy between kickoffs and extra points. The kick is up, and it is good, and CBC now extends their lead here in the second quarter to 34-0. Folks, if you're a fan of CSN, you have definitely heard us mention our friend, State Farm agent Tim Kylo. Tim is a CBC grad. He takes care of us here at the Cadet Student Network. This fall, we are going to say thanks to Tim on Twitter. So find Tim on Twitter by searching @RiskAgent. That's @RiskAgent. Give him a follow. That's @RiskAgent. Join us all year for every broadcast as we thank Tim Kylo for his work and his help supporting the Cadet Student Network. When you need an attorney, you want someone you can count on to protect your legal rights, the attorneys at Milliken Wright are here for you. Brian Milliken and CBC grad Chris Wright have fiercely represented the injured and accused in civil and criminal cases in the St. Louis metro area for more than 15 years. Call Brian and Chris, 314-621-0622, or find Milliken Wright online at millikenwright.com. That's Milliken Wright. Milliken Wright will fight for you. CBC set to kick off now, 7:33 to play in the first half. Cadets 34, Fort Zumwalt West, nothing. The Cadets have dominated this game from the opening whistle. Trey Bryant opened the game with a 99-yard kickoff return for touchdown. The thing CBC's done tonight, Peter, is they've driven the ball fairly well. We always talk about big, explosive, long touchdowns. We've had the kickoff return and the 45-yard touchdown. The other ones came off good, long, sustained drives.
With penalties, too. So, yeah, this is a really great performance, I think.
I'm sure Coach Pingle loves those big, explosive plays, but you know he likes to watch that offense work, too, and just march right down the field. There's a kick deep, and that's Majors back at the 4. Out to the 10, 15, 20. He's got some room. 30, 35, cuts it back inside, making a couple men miss, and he gets all the way to midfield. Good return there by Marquise Majors, the sophomore wideout. And he returned that 46 yards for the biggest play for Fort Zumwalt West thus far.
I gave the fans a little something exciting. I believe that his dad is right below us there, and he was excited. They finally got something to cheer about.
First down and 10 now. Good field position for the Jaguars at midfield. Hoping to get something going here before the half. Out of the pistol. And the guy that has been torching defenses all year for Fort Zumwalt West, Ethan Staskowitz, has been very quiet. He gets the carry there and he gets a yard. And it's hard to get your running game going and involved when you fall behind so quickly so early.
Yeah, and again, that confidence that we always talk about, that confidence factor. So after a while, your inner conscious is talking to you and it says, yeah, what the heck? I want to go home.
Second down 9 at the 49 of CBC. Strauss out of the pistol. Staskowitz behind him. He fires over to the left side, and that ball was thrown high, and knocking the helmet off Majors was Lamar Anderson. He hit him right at the shoulders, and Majors' helmet flew right off.
Legal hit, though.
Legal hit.
If it was a split second a little bit later, now maybe they would have called unnecessary roughness, but
normally when a helmet flies off like that on a legal hit, the chin strap is not securely fastened.
Right. Sometimes the kids think it's cool not to fasten your helmet strap there, your chin strap, and no, you keep that thing up nice and tight.
So it's now second or third and 9 at the 49. Strauss out of the shotgun. Fakes to Staskowitz, runs to the right. He's looking. Now he takes it himself, and he's run out of bounds at the 46 by number 46, Derek Speltz. CBC, a lot of substituting here on defense, especially with the unfortunate ACL injury to Kevin Kirkbride, the senior and captain, out for the year after tearing his ACL last week. And we hope you get better soon here, Kevin, and hope for a speedy recovery. Tough break.
Yeah, those ACLs, my goodness. I watch the scroll on ESPN or whatever, and every day some kid blows out an ACL. And I still think it has to do with the shoes.
Fourth down and 6, Strauss. And Strauss goes down. Sacked at midfield. That's Miles Taylor who got him around the ankles and brought him down. And that'll turn it over for Fort Zumwalt West on fourth down. CBC takes over at midfield with a chance to pile on to this 34-0 lead.
Yeah, I'm always talking about those shoes.
So, yeah, you say the ACL is a shoe issue. Explain.
Yeah. Well, the shoes, if you notice these modern shoes that these kids like, and all the manufacturers, Adidas and Nike and all they have these little rectangular cleats around to the outside of the perimeter of the bottom of the shoe. When that shoe is planted on this field turf particularly, that shoe does not move. So if you're twisting, turning, hyperextending, the shoe stays, something else has got to go. I like a shoe that slips a little bit. With the old four cleats in the front and 2 in the back, I mean, you had a little bit of slippage there. So
and maybe it's the media, maybe it's not, but are you saying far less ACL injuries back when people wore the older cleats?
We had ligament damage to somebody blocking, but never an injury, a non-contact injury. ACLs, 70% of all ACL injuries are non-contact.
Sam Bradford last year was not hit on that knee. His foot stuck.
That's right.
And tore his ACL again.
Same with Palmer, quarterback for Arizona. Nobody hit him.
The freshman, Brett Gabbert, is in the game now for CBC here in the second quarter. Gabbert this year has thrown 4 passes. He's 3 for 4, 43 yards and a touchdown.
That's offsides against West.
And that should give the Cadets a first down on 2nd and 4.
Then the other combination is these kids hit that weight room so much. They're so strong. They're so much faster that they're putting extra stress on the joints. Combine that with the shoes and the field turf, although the stats that I saw was there's an increase of ACLs on the field turf, which is what we're playing on today. But not that much, 5 to 7% increase in injuries on that. But I think it has more to do with the shoes.
Gabbert looking downfield. He fires to the left. That ball is caught. Cameron Babb with the catch. 7 yards inside the 35 to the 34.
There's a nice little stroke on him. Huh? He came over the top with a nice little pass.
Brett Gabbert not as tall as his brothers, Blaine or Tyler. He's 5'10".
He's only a freshman.
But only a freshman. And looks like he's got a good gun on him. That was a nice hard pass thrown in the slot there. He steps up and fires to the right side, and that ball bounces off the receiver. Trey Bryant didn't look it in all the way.
Well, he kind of threw it a little behind him there, too.
You know, with Brett Gabbert wearing that number 2, it just harkens me back to another NFL 5'10" quarterback named Doug Flutie.
Doug Flutie, yeah. Fun kid to watch. I watched him when he was up in Canada.
He still holds records in the CFL.
Does he?
For some passing statistics he put up. He was huge in the Canadian Football League.
Yeah, Boston College Eagle.
Yep. 3rd and 5 now. Gabbert looking. Here comes the blitz from the outside. He is sacked by Fort Zumwalt West. Coming off the edge there. Looked to be number 15. And that is not number 15. That was Cameron Eccles. I can't tell.
No, that's where his size hurt him a little bit because he couldn't see over the top. You got to start looking through windows.
Well, and as a freshman, you'll start to get that sixth sense, right? You'll start to get that feel for pocket awareness, pocket presence, as it's called.
Pocket escapability.
There you go. Major's back deep. He's standing at the 10. This will be the first punt for CBC today. Charlton is back to punt, and he kicks it, and that's a beauty. And that will go into the end zone. Long 42-yard punt by Charlton, and the Jaguars, with 4:38 to play in the second quarter, will start with it at the 20. So if you heard Peter Demos' message, all you players out there, stop wearing those new shoes that you love so much.
I'm firmly convinced of that. I mean,
yeah.
I've just read that just study after study, and if you kids don't believe me, go online, find out ACL injuries and shoes. You'll find all kinds of articles about the idea that shoe sticks, has absolutely nowhere to go except your knees, your ankles, your hips, especially in hyperextensions. And that's one of the things that causes an ACL. I mean, there's got to be some reasons for it because we didn't have them in the old days.
Right, and even back in like the late 70s and 80s when all the fields were like concrete, like AstroTurf.
Yeah, that's right.
There weren't even that many ACLs. This is Strauss now going over the right side. He's going to be met. He doesn't get much. Loss of a yard, I think.
There were more shoulder injuries on the AstroTurf because that was just laid over concrete or macadam.
Brandon Zamuda was in on that stop. You know, I listened to some of the old football Cardinals when they're interviewed on radio, and they talk about how tough and how hard that Busch Stadium turf was, but they said nothing was worse than Veterans Stadium in Philadelphia.
Oh.
They said that turf literally was like a playground concrete with a 1/4 inch of fabric laid over it.
Do you remember the running back, Johnny Johnson?
I remember the name, yes.
Okay. I played with his dad. Johnny Johnson was our running back for San Jose State.
Sack back inside the 10, the CBC defense, Dominique Gatewood and number 50, Brandon Zamuda, pull down Jake Strauss. It's going to be 3rd and forever for Fort Zumwalt West. Looks like 3rd and 20. 20 isn't exactly forever.
No. I remember a game at the Smet where Deron Neal kept on going backwards. It was 3rd and 78. he went for it. He gained about 30 yards of it, but
Strauss keeps it himself, and a great open field tackle by CBC.
3rd and 78. My goodness.
Number 23, I believe, was in on that stop. That's Clayton Stalling in the backfield. Great open field tackle for the Cadets. Now 4th and 19. Strauss will punt. Babb standing right at just inside midfield. He'll now drift back to about midfield.
A little under 3 minutes to go to half, huh?
2:43 and counting. 34-0. Here's the rugby-style punt, and it's a good one. At his own 47, this is Babb. He'll go to the right, crosses midfield. Now Dipsy doodles away from the tackler, gets inside the 40, 35-30, down the sideline, finally hit inside the 25, and a 25-yard punt return for Cameron Babb. He is explosive, and he is only a sophomore. 6 feet, 175 pounds. Shout out to Cameron Babb's dad. I met Mr. Babb earlier this week, and he is a large man. In shape is all I can say. So at the 24-yard line, CBC will start first down and 10 at the 24 of Fort Zumwalt West. Charlton now checks back into the game, and he hands it to Caleb Allen, who feels his way over the left side, now bursts free inside the 20 down to the 10. Caleb Allen very patient on that run, and the minute he saw the seam, he took off in the hole, picked up about 12, and it'll be first and 10 at the 10.
It's very similar to the Hickman game here a couple weeks ago, huh?
Hickman got on the board 7-0, and then CBC scored 37 first quarter points.
Someone wasn't paying attention on defense there somewhere.
37 first quarter points.
Wow. Well, what do we have here tonight?
We had 20 in the first quarter. Official timeout as they get the ball set. First and 10 at the 10. They can get a first down just inside the 1-yard line.
Lamar on the right side of it.
Charlton looks,
He's open,
pumps,
wide
fires.
open,
He's got a guy wide open. Roderick Bryant, touchdown Cadets, 10 yards. Roderick Bryant sold the pattern over the middle and then turned to the outside, had his defensive back turned all around, and he was wide open.
You know what I'm noticing is Blake is much more accurate this year than he was last year.
Well, he was completing 75% of his passes coming into tonight, and I think he's above that so far today.
Oh, yeah.
So Roderick Bryant gets in on the action with a 10-yard touchdown catch. Otto Etzel, the left-footed kicker, will come in and attempt the extra point. Snap back, ball down, kick is up, and it is good. With 1:56 to play in the first half, CBC leads Fort Zumwalt West 41-0, and you're watching CBC football on the Cadet Student Network.
Guido's Pizzeria and Tapas offers the best of Mediterranean cuisine with a full menu of classic Italian fare, traditional Spanish entrees, and tapas. Guido's delivers a taste of Spain in the middle of Italy. Try their made-to-order dishes like Guido's homemade lasagna and the rich caramelized flan. Located on the heart of the hill at 5046 Shaw Boulevard, Guido's is open 7 days a week, till midnight on Friday and Saturday, and till 11 p.m. on Sunday through Thursday. The Cadet Student Network loves to stop in and see owner and CBC alum Miguel Carretero, class of '86. You should do the same. Holy cannoli, you gotta try Guido's Pizzeria and Tapas on the hill. Guido's Pizza.
We are back at Fort Zumwalt West High School, the CBC Cadets and the Fort Zumwalt West Jaguars. 1:56 to play in the first half. CBC leads 41-0. CBC will now kick off after scoring their third touchdown of the quarter, their sixth of the game. This ball is pooched inside the 20. It bounces on the turf, picked up by Fort Zumwalt West along the left side. That was Kellen Johnson, the junior, who crosses across, gets the ball across the 25-yard line close to the 30. Kicking off there, looked like that was Taylor Keller. Taylor Keller, number 43, the senior, kicked that ball off for the Cadets. We haven't seen him yet this year.
No. Well, then the coach he's in that quandary again. Does he keep playing his starters and the chance that they might get hurt? But he plays them because he wants them to get the experience, because they're going to need that playoff time, come playoff time. So it's kind of a difficult decision. You don't want to run up the score too badly. But again, you want to give your starters as much experience as you can. Fumble.
Ball is fumbled on the exchange. The ball is loose. CBC might have it. That was just a fumble exchange there from the quarterback to Johnson. The ball fell on the turf. A couple people tried to fall on it. CBC ended up on top of it, I believe. We'll see. They did.
Yep.
Zamuda was on the bottom of the pile. So was Gormley. But it looks like number 11, Nick Wheeler, was the one who came up with it. And CBC will start first down and 10 at the 23.
Boy, CBC has a collection of athletes, don't they? My goodness. These kids are fast. They're quick. They're smart.
And they're versatile. They can play all over.
Well, you gotta hand the coaching staff to that.
Absolutely. Coach Pingle, they do a great job being prepared, calling a great game, putting new wrinkles in every week. Every week we see one or two new things that we didn't see the week before.
That's right, and they're saving some of their best for the playoffs.
Oh, yeah.
You can bet you that some of these teams from out on the western side of the state are watching.
I'll tell you, there's a team to keep an eye on that's out here, and that's Francis Howell.
Well, they've been tough the last one. Here he goes.
That's Lamar Anderson down to the 20 on the delayed handoff. Gets about 5. Francis Howell has won 2 games so far, and they have yet to allow any points on defense.
Who have they played?
I looked, but now I can't remember. You had to call me on that, didn't you?
Yeah. They might have played 2 cupcakes, too. You don't know.
Oh, they beat Webster Groves 42-0
Okay.
And then they beat, I forget who they played last week, but they beat them 28-0. So 70-0 so far in their first 2 games. But you're right. After the first few games, we'll see what happens.
Sure.
Charlton hands it. Caleb Allen keeps those legs churning down to the 15-yard line. He's close to a first down as he just busted that one up the middle. Under 40 seconds now to play in this first half. We'll see if CBC just takes their time, and we'll see if they try to punch another touchdown in before halftime. 41-0 the score. Anderson and Allen both in the backfield. Cameron Babb comes over in motion, lines up in the right slot. Roderick Bryant at the top of your screen. He's your wide receiver. Split wide right. That's Lamar Anderson over the left looking for room. Has to circle back, and he created his own hole there. He was all but hemmed in, cut back, found a seam, and got inside the 5. It looks like he might be slightly shaken up. He is bent over on the ground right now, trying to catch his breath. 10 seconds to play.
That looks like a cramp injury to me.
And they're going to let this clock run out.
Yep.
So they're going to let it run to halftime. The CBC Cadets and the Fort Zumwalt West Jaguars. It is halftime, and CBC leads Fort Zumwalt West. We'll tell you about the first half right after this.
CBC alum Tim Kylo for all your insurance needs. Tim and the State Farm team provide a full insurance review to make sure you and your family are covered at the best possible price. Whether it's auto, renters, home, business, or life insurance, for more than 23 years, Tim has helped his clients manage the risks of everyday life and realize their dreams. For all your insurance needs, contact one of our school's most loyal alums, Class of 77 graduate Tim Kylo at 314-842-4442 or send him an email, tim@timkylo.com. Call State Farm agent.
We're at Fort Zumwalt West High School in O'Fallon, Missouri. The CBC Cadets lead Fort Zumwalt West 41-0 at halftime. Brief synopsis of the game so far. Trey Bryant opened the game with a 99-yard kickoff return for a touchdown. The extra point was missed, and it was 6-0. Then with 9:13 to play in the first quarter, only the second play from scrimmage, Bryant again, 45 yards from Blake Charlton. That made it 13-0. And then with 2:10 to play in the first quarter, Cameron Babb, 21 yards from Blake Charlton. It was 20-0 at the end of 1. Charlton then had a 19-yard run with 10:17 to play in the half. Williams, number 24, Justin Williams, the junior, had a 5-yard touchdown run, making it 34-0. And then with 1:56 to play in the half, Charlton hit Roderick Bryant in the right corner of the end zone to make it 41-0. And that's the scoring here in the first half. And my name's Randy Molman. I'm here with Peter Demos. And Peter, I don't know what else can be said about this first half.
Well, the great soothsayer that I am somewhat predicted this again. And then when their coach told me that, they wasn't sure they had the speed enough to stay up with CBC, I think it proves that obviously they don't.
CBC leads 41-0 here at halftime. Hey, fans, CBC is stronger than ever. Peter and I talked about it earlier. A great example of that was the strong support CBC got from the alumni and supporters at the CBC Alumni Open. Just a few weeks ago, more than 430 golfers and 100 volunteers gathered at Whitmore Country Club at the annual CBC Alumni Open. It was an amazing turnout, raised more than $275,000 that day to support CBC's financial aid program. And we want to say a big thank you to everyone who joined us, and we'd also like to introduce you at some point to a few young men who will benefit from your support. So stay tuned for that in future broadcasts. We'll definitely alert you to that. But that was a successful event at the CBC Alumni Open, and you played in it?
No.
You did not play in it?
No.
Did you drive a cart?
No. I wanted to, but I had coaching duties.
I see. That's Peter Demos. My name is Randy Molman, and we are at halftime. CBC leads Fort Zumwalt West 41-0, and we'll be back with the second half of football after these words.
Performance at the Lab Gym, St. Louis's premier training facility for elite and developmental athletes. Do you want to maximize your athletic potential? Do you want to get bigger, faster, stronger, more powerful, and actively prevent injuries? From high school and college to professional and Olympic athletes, world-class sports performance at the Lab Gym will get you ready to compete at the highest level. Call Director of Sports Performance, Matt Miller, at 314-932-7270 or visit their website, labgym.com. Or just stop into the gym at 5035 Manchester Avenue to see for yourself.
This is Matt Miller with World Class Sports Performance at the Lab Gym. Make sure to check us out online. Stop by for a free tour. We're here to help you maximize your athletic potential.
World.
Ladies and gentlemen, we are at Fort Zumwalt West High School, and we're getting ready to start the second half here on the Cadet Student Network in the Tim Kylo broadcast booth. We're on the road this week with Tim Kylo's broadcast booth, and my name is Randy Molman, Peter Demos alongside, and the CBC Cadets lead the Fort Zumwalt West Jaguars 41-0. Not much you could say really to analyze this one, except CBC jumped on them from the very first play. The opening kickoff, Trey Bryant took 99 yards for a touchdown, and CBC never looked back. They've dominated from the start, 41-0 over the Jaguars. And Peter, if you're the Jaguars, you come out in this second half, you're already losing 41-0. What would you tell your boys at this point?
Hey, you guys are putting up a good effort, but hey, remember, this is an older, more experienced team that you're playing. They're the state champions. I'm surprised that the score isn't even more. But gosh, you guys are just keep your nose in there, keep doing it, and learn. So next year when they come back in here, we'll be down at their place, and we'll do some butt kicking ourselves. Remember, this is a very young team.
It is. We were talking about it earlier. Fort Zumwalt West is skill players on offense, the wide receivers. One junior, the rest sophomores.
Sure.
They do have a senior quarterback and a senior running back, but they've got some good skill players that are young and developing, and you can tell that they've got some talent out there.
Well, do you remember DeSmet's team from last year? The average age was 11. They just didn't have anybody that, I mean, Coach Mahoney, a super guy, I really like Coach Mahoney, and he tells it like it is. He says, listen, I got a bunch of freshmen and sophomores, and we'll be tougher next year and the year after, but it takes a while. I mean, you look at high school or even colleges for that. These, they don't recruit much here. And you try to teach the people to show up at school. CBC does have a slight advantage in there because, again, they don't have a district or a geographical area that they have to, get their players from. So the private schools sometimes do have an edge, but not necessarily in football, though. Tennis and golf and the big money sports, a lot of time that's the case. But football, it's more tradition, and gosh, CBC has set a tradition of winning football for the last 4 or 5 years. And people want to, the good kids, they want to go where they can win championships.
Absolutely, and the Cadets have won 16 straight games dating back to last year, the defending State of Missouri Class 6 champions. And here we go. We open the second half. And from the 1-yard line, this is Johnson across the 25, across the 30, gets to about the 31. 30-yard return there by number 21, Kellen Johnson, the junior. He's the 5'5" junior that Peter Demos and I have talked about in much of this broadcast. We're expecting a breakout play from that young man before the night's over.
Well, a lot of the starters are back in, so Pingle is not resting on his first half laurels here.
CBC's defense takes the field now with a 41-point lead. We're in the third quarter. It's 11:26 to play. We just got going. And the Cadets and the Jaguars doing battle here in the second half. Jake Strauss, the quarterback, hands it to Staskowitz, who weaves his way up the middle for about 5.
That's the first time that he's run the ball that's gained more than a yard or two, isn't it?
He's had a couple of runs. He had the one where he went 10 or 12 yards and fumbled, right, and it rolled out of bounds. But he's had a couple of decent carries. It's just tough to keep running the football when you're down by 40 points.
That's it.
Staskowitz lost 2 on that play. That'll bring it back, and it'll be 3rd down and 6 at the 45.
Yeah, that.
But I think to your point, talking about what you want to do here in the second half, you're down 41-0. It seems to me, run your offense. Work on your offense.
Right.
Work on running the ball. Work on your blocking schemes. Work on everything that you're going to need the rest of the year.
Sure. Yeah, treat it like a scrimmage. Just try to get better.
Strauss pumps to the right, now rolls left. He pulls the ball down. He's being chased. Now he has to reverse field. He comes back the other way, looking, and he's finally sacked.
Should have let that ball go. He was out of the pocket, just throwing it over and being some CBC kid sitting on the sideline.
Brandon Zamuda ended up with the sack, and a couple of other CBC players were in pursuit. And that'll be 4th down and 12 now back at the 39. That's one of those plays where you roll out, you try to make something happen, nothing's there, and that's right, you throw it away.
That's right. Well, he'll learn from that. Of course, he's a senior, though, right?
He is a senior.
Yeah, senior.
He'll punt now. Back deep is Cameron Babb. Babb stands at the 31-yard line. Here's the rugby-style punt. It's high and short. Babb will stay away from it. It lands at the 40, takes a CBC bounce, and is downed at the 41, and that's where the Cadets will start here in the second half at the 41-yard line, leading 41-0. Cadet fans, do you know a grade school student who might be a future cadet? Well, please encourage them to pay us a visit and experience CBC for themselves. Call Melissa Ryan, 314-985-6095, to schedule a tour of CBC or an 8th grade shadow visit. That's 314-985-6095. Spend a day with us and experience what CBC is all about.
What a great school CBC really is, and just not because my son went there, but just the tradition and the values they teach the kids, and there's no girls to offer any kind of distractions during the day.
Caleb Allen takes the ball over the right side, and he's yanked down in the backfield. Good play defensively by Fort Zumwalt West in the backfield. So it'll be, that looked like it was 51 Jordan Williams, the defensive lineman, who pulled Caleb Allen down for no gain, 2nd and 10. No girls as a distraction. It's probably a smart idea, Peter.
Probably so, yeah. I think it is.
I remember being that age, and there were girls at our school, and yes, they were a distraction. That's Gabbert down the field. He's got a man wide open. He led him a little too far, or that would have been a touchdown. That was Damon Jones, the junior who makes the catch from Brett Gabbert, down to the 35-yard line.
But he saw him.
He did. He made a good throw to get it to him. Had he hit him in stride, that would have been 6 without question. 7:47 and counting here in the third quarter. The score is 41-0 in favor of CBC. Gabbert back to Jones. Jones across the 35, stiff arms his way inside the 30 to about the 27.
Well, obviously the quarterback for next year, unless somebody else comes in, will be Brett Gabbert.
Good physical run after catch by Damon Jones. Brett Gabbert, the younger brother of Blaine Gabbert, now playing for the San Francisco 49ers, played his college ball at Mizzou. And Tyler Gabbert, who spent some time at Mizzou and at Central Florida. And I believe you told me he's now teaching at the Elite Football Academy in town. Is that true?
Yes, he is. He's there pretty much on a full-time basis now. And talk about a kid with an arm. I think off his back foot he could throw 75 yards.
And so this is the younger Gabbert, Brett Gabbert.
Yep.
Only a freshman.
And they still think that he's better at this age than both the
others?
older brothers, yeah.
Caleb Allen powers up the middle. He'll get a first down inside the 25 to the 24. The Cadets continue to march, leading 41-0. Third quarter action, under 7 minutes to play.
It's quite a lot to live up to, though, for Brett, isn't it?
Really is. And from everything I'm reading, Blaine is having a great camp in San Francisco. Caleb Allen over the right side, looking. He gets inside the 20, now bounces to the outside. He'll have the first down with a burst of speed before finally being run out of bounds down inside the 10. Boy, that looked like he was going out of bounds right at the marker, and he turned in another 10 yards.
Yeah, I'm not sure the 49ers are completely sold on Kaepernick. He does have that long stride. He does get out of, but he's a little bit inconsistent sometimes. Maybe they'll get, maybe Blaine will get some time this year.
First and goal at the 7. Handoff, Caleb Allen, hit at the 5. It'll be 2nd and goal for the Cadets. In case you missed it or you're just now watching, Brett Gabbert is in the game, freshman quarterback. He started the second half here for CBC. Cadets lead 41-0 here at Fort Zumwalt West High.
He threw a touchdown pass against Hickman, did he not?
He did. He has a touchdown this year. Came in having only thrown 4 passes on the season. Caleb Allen over the right side, dives at the pylon. Touchdown. Caleb Allen from 5 yards out. And the Cadets tack on 6 more. Otto Etzel will come in and attempt the extra point. Holding is Tyler England, number 22.
See, now that's not a penalty. He's just holding the football.
He's just holding the football. That's right.
That's right.
Laces out. Snapback ball down. The kick is up, and it is good. CBC now extends their lead to 48-0. 0 with 5:30 to play in the third quarter. Fans, if you like sports shooting, you'll love Clays for Cadets on Saturday, September 12th. Join Vladimir Tarasenko, David Backus, and other Blues players at the Strathalbyn, is that how you say that? Strathalbyn Farms?
Close enough.
For the second annual Clays for Cadets shooting competition. A team of Cardinal baseball alums is also expected at this great event, sponsored by the Dean team. That's you can register, by the way, at cbchs.org/clays. That's CLAYS. cbchs.org/CLAYS. Or for more information, contact Ms. Perry Jackson, 314-985-6029.
Well, I think it's time for Fort Zumwalt West to start deflating the footballs.
They'll be back in this game in no time.
No time at all.
Boy, that NFL situation is comical, is it not?
I can't wait to the draft next year when Roger comes out and see how badly they boo him this time. Oh, it's going to be deafening.
I mean, Roger Goodell has taken a beating recently with these decisions, and the Players Association or the Players Union has really handed it to him. And you know what? That's what happens when you try to lead an organization and you're inconsistent with the punishments that you hand out. You got to be consistent.
I mean, Ray Rice gets, 4 games? And for a little football thing, which is normally a $25,000 fine,
right?
It's $1 million plus all the money that Brady wouldn't have gotten had he had to serve that suspension. So we're talking probably a huge, huge hit. Well, I don't know. Maybe Tom can afford it.
Yeah, probably.
With Giselle.
I was going to say, Tom's living a pretty good life as it is.
Yeah, you ever seen pictures of his house in Southern California?
I have not seen pictures of his house. Now, I have seen pictures of his wife.
Well, I'm not sure I would take the house of the wife, but I'll tell you, at my age, I'd probably take the house.
Yeah, I have not seen pictures of his house, but he is living the good life. And look, he's, by all accounts, he's a good guy off the field, and he's just a winner. Plays for a great organization, and they win football games, and that's the bottom line.
They sure do. It is unbelievable.
So 1st down and 10 at the 20 for Fort Zumwalt West. The kickoff went into the end zone. It's a 48-0 score, third quarter, 5:28 to play. Jake Strauss back to take the snaps for the Jaguars. Hands it to, keeps it himself on the read option, and he didn't read it well. CBC smothers him in the backfield, and leading the charge, number 29, Cliff Teague, among others. Number 44, that's Austin Simpson, was also in on the stop. Lots of new faces getting some playing time here. Number 53 as well, Gabe Kettering into the game. That one is kept by Strauss, and he's got room over the right side, across the 30, 35, 40, across the 45, and he actually lowered his shoulder there and ran over Gormley. Give it up for Strauss. Peter Demos is now showing me Tom Brady's house. Good grief. My house probably fits in that, right there on that side.
Well, I'd move
That's how big my house is.
I'd move into the servants' quarters and be very happy.
1st down and 10 for Fort Zumwalt West at the 47. He pitches it out to Johnson. Johnson looking for space, and he's tackled in the open field. What a great play in the backfield at the ankles.
Maybe he isn't as fast as I once thought. He shouldn't have had that guy tackle him from that back there, because he was under a full head of steam, and he got caught from the behind.
Mike Roberts III chased him down and tackled him at the ankles. Nice play.
Sure was.
And it'll be a loss of 3, 2nd and 13 at the 44. Fort Zumwalt West trying to put a drive together. And there's their tailback, Ethan Staskowitz. Rumbles for 15 and a 1st down inside the 40 to the 37. They'll mark it at the 38.
That's a good Polish name, isn't it? Staskowitz?
Ethan Staskowitz.
I'm one quarter Polish.
We haven't really called his name much, and his number's been called a lot in the first 2 weeks of Fort Zumwalt West season. Strauss keeps it himself, goes up the middle, goes for about 4. inside the 35. They'll mark it at just inside the 35.
Yeah, 44 took him down.
That's Austin Simpson.
Oh, that's a name we haven't called much.
For CBC. As I said, a lot of new faces. I mentioned a few already in the game, and I'm sure we'll get to others as they make plays here on the field. Pistol formation, Strauss out of the shotgun, now looks to the sidelines looking for the play. Play is now being signaled in. West now gets back into their set formation. Pass to Johnson. Johnson inside the 30. He'll have a first down for Fort Zumwalt West at the 27. Kellen Johnson. Good pitch and catch there from Strauss to Johnson. First down and 10 at the CBC 27. The Jaguars driving.
Such great experience for these new numbers that have just come in.
Staskowitz again, hit at the line of scrimmage, won't go down, and it takes several other CBC players to come get him. Leading the charge was 22, Tyler England. Number 32 is also on the field, Brennan Hall. He's getting some playing time here today. He's in the game, as well as number 21, the defensive back, or linebacker, excuse me, Luke Carey is also checked in for CBC. 2nd and 8 at the 25. Staskowitz into the backfield to the right of Strauss. Out of the gun. Quarterback read option. He doesn't give it to Staskowitz. He throws. It's caught.
Wow.
No gain. He got rid of it just as he was going down. England on the coverage. Pass was complete to 49, Max Zuccarello.
I got to believe that England is one of the younger brothers of Tom England and the ex-president of CBC. It's got to be the same family, wouldn't you think?
Could be.
Yeah.
3rd down and 4. 1:06 and counting left in the third quarter.
3rd and about 4, right?
Yep, 3rd and about 4 for the Jaguars. 2 wide receivers to the top of your screen. Fort Zumwalt West faithful trying to get their offense moving. Strauss now fires towards the end zone. He's got a man open. Touchdown, Fort Zumwalt West. That's number 11, Marquise Majors. He went up and got it. As a matter of fact, I kind of thought CBC had pass interference on that play. But a very, very good catch. Marquise Majors goes up and catches it in the corner, and the Jaguars are on the board with 41 seconds remaining in the third quarter.
Yeah, that's what we call a high point catch. He jumped higher than our defensive back. Not a bad shot.
Strauss put it up. Majors went up and got it. Now the extra point for Fort Zumwalt West. Snap back, ball is down, the kick is up, and it is good. Majors with the touchdown catch, 41 seconds remaining.
Well, that just might have poked the CBC bear a little bit. He might have gotten mad at that.
The score is now 48-7. Kicking that extra point was Dietrich. Looked like Dietrich. Hey, we have some upcoming broadcasts on the Cadets Student Network, and we want to remind you that we are more than just about athletics. We'll once again be delivering theater performances, academic events, and other school activities right here at cbccsn.com. Be sure to log on all school year to check us out. From the classroom to the court, from the field to the stage, if it's happening at CBC, you'll find it on the Cadets Student Network. My name's Randy Molman, Peter Demos alongside. We are in the third quarter, 41.7 remain until we head to that fourth quarter with CBC on top 48-7.
Well, there seems to be a little extra pep in the step of Zumwalt West players here right now.
Fort Zumwalt West now will kick off to CBC. Back deep, Trey Bryant. Well, no, they have two different return men out there this time. Pooch kick, it's going to drop and be caught inside the 19, cross the 25, 30, 35, and then run out of bounds, not even to the 35. Run out of bounds at the 30. And for CBC, Diodne Frost, I believe, was on the return. 1st and 10 for CBC at the 30-yard line, leading 48-7. 16-15. I don't know that CBC will take the field. That might be the end of the third quarter. It will be the Cadets and Fort Zumwalt West. CBC leads 48-7. That's the end of the third quarter. You're watching CBC football on the Cadet Student Network.
You gonna talk?
Tapas offers the best of Mediterranean cuisine with a full menu of classic Italian fare, traditional Spanish entrees, and tapas. Guido's delivers a taste of Spain in the middle of Italy. Try their made-to-order dishes like Guido's homemade lasagna and the rich caramelized flan. Located on the heart of the hill at 5046 Shaw Boulevard, Guido's is open 7 days a week, till midnight on Friday and Saturday, and till 11 p.m. on Sunday through Thursday. The Cadet Student Network loves to stop in and see owner and CBC alum Miguel Carretero, class of '86. You should do the same. Holy cannoli, you gotta try Guido's Pizzeria and Tapas on the Hill. Guido's Pizza.
We're back here as we start the fourth quarter from Fort Zumwalt West High School. You're watching CBC football on the Cadet Student Network. My name's Randy Molman, Peter Demos alongside, and joining me now in the broadcast booth, Director of Communications at CBC High School, Patrick Walsh.
That's me.
That's you.
Good to talk to you, Randy.
Welcome. This is Caleb Allen picking his way. No, that's Justin Williams, who gets out to about the 39, a 9-yard pickup, and it should be a 2nd and short for the Cadets.
Randy, I'm sure you guys are doing a better job up in the booth than I'm doing down on the field, but it's hard to keep track of all these running backs for CBC.
Ooh, and you look a little sweaty. It's hot out there.
Well,
it's still hot.
It is hot out there. I've got a nice glow about me tonight.
It's not cool in this press box either, I'll tell you that. 2nd down and 1 at the 39 now for the Cadets. This is Williams again over the left side. Actually, that's number 14, Antoine Higgins. You're right. I can't keep track of the running backs either.
We've got plenty of them over there on the sidelines. Our guys are clearly playing well tonight.
Patrick Walsh joining us, the Director of Communications at CBC High School. And anything you need to communicate since you are the master communicator?
That's my thing, man. Just up here to talk a little bit about all that's going on at school. Plenty of good stories to tell you about all that's happening at CBC. Coming up this week, big news, our high school night start. Our admissions season is in full swing. So we kick those off Tuesday night at Ursuline.
There's a couple of yards up the middle there for the Cadets. It'll be 2nd and about 7. Once again, that was Higgins, the ball carrier.
So just finishing up that thought, Randy, if anybody knows an 8th grade student who might be interested in CBC, be sure to give our admissions office a call. I'm sure you've read the number a few times tonight, but that's 895. Goodness gracious, what is our phone number at CBC?
Would you like me to help you out here, Patrick? I think I may have it. Let me see if I can find it. Mike Roberts, the 3rd on the carry there. He's close to a 1st down. It'll be 3rd down and 1.
985-6095.
985-6095, and that's Melissa Ryan you can get a hold of, right?
Heck of a tongue twister for me.
There you go.
I call Mel 2 or 3 times a day, and then I blank out on air. Look at that.
Well, it's easy to know that you want to call Melissa Ryan. It's not so easy to remember the number. Who remembers numbers anymore? That's why I say it twice.
I'm with you.
When I say the number, I got to say it twice.
You're right. It's like we need to plug it into people's cell phone if we want them to remember our phone number.
Tackled way back out for a loss by Fort Zumwalt West. That was Chance Lotz was on the carry, but a loss of 5 on the play. Fort Zumwalt West defense swarming to the ball on that play.
We'll get a chance to punt here. It looks like Anthony DeGrief is going to be back to punt.
DeGrief is going to do the punting here, not Blake Charlton.
Yeah. That's good to know that we've got somebody besides our starting quarterback.
That's right. Peter and I were talking about that. We've noticed more and more of these starting quarterbacks punting.
Well, Blake's a great athlete, man. He's a state champion in football and baseball as well. He can do it all.
DeGrief's punt lands and bounces at the 30 and takes a CBC roll and will be down at the 24. The Cadets just watched it. No one wanted to touch it, and it stops at the 24-yard line. So that's good to know. What else is going on at CBC?
Well,
a few weeks into the school year.
It feels like the boys have been back forever. We're having a lot of fun, but it's a busy time of year. It's nice to have this 3-day weekend coming up. But that flashes me back to last weekend. Coach Terry Mickler with his 900th career win, and he's actually at 902 now because the boys won a few games during the week. But his 900th win last week at Chaminade, Saturday afternoon game, a big crowd, a good group of CBC guys there cheering us on, and it was a big day at Chaminade, so they had a lot of fans. Overtime win for his 900th career victory against an MCC rival. What a special day that was.
That's huge, and I can tell just from how big that was because all of the local sports outlets covered it.
That's right, including CSN. We didn't carry the game live, but we do have video of Coach Mickler's speech to the team after the game that's up on the Cadet Student Network. We definitely encourage everybody to check that out. Some really cool thoughts and emotions coming from Coach Mickler that day.
Strauss has run out of bounds after a 9-yard gain. It'll be 2nd and 1 for the Jaguars. You know, that reminds me that we should be reminding people that they should check out the Cadet Student Network just for all of the archive stuff.
That's right.
There's games, there's theater productions, all kinds of stuff.
So many things available on demand. We have over 100 broadcasts, videos, all that stuff that's up and available for folks. www.cbccsn.com anytime. Just check out all the cool stuff that's happening in CBC.
Strauss now out of the shotgun. He's out of the pistol, actually. Behind him is Staskowitz. He's going to give it to him. Staskowitz pounds it up the middle. He'll have the first down across the 40, and he rumbles it across the 45 to the 47. Kept his legs churning and moved the pile, Ethan Staskowitz. People can also follow on Facebook, Cadet Student Network, and on Twitter at CBC CSN, right?
That's
on Twitter?
Check us out. We're always putting out new and fun content for people to enjoy. Hey, before I jump off air, I'm chewing up the whole fourth quarter here on Coach Demos. But I want to mention again, Tim Kylo. A lot of people stopped me this week and said, hey, are you really saving $1,000 a year with Tim Kylo? Well, heck yes, I am. Tim Kylo, State Farm agent, awesome CBC alum. Give him a call. Check him out. 314-842-4442. I didn't forget that phone number.
There you go.
842-4442. Tim Kylo's got the best rates in town, and he's always good to folks here at CBC.
Ryan Fogarty, number 28, just saved a touchdown for CBC. Staskowitz rumbles inside the 35 to the 34 of the Cadets. Yeah, Tim Kylo, and man, he is not only a great guy, and he can save you money on your insurance, but he's a huge supporter of the Cadet Student Network.
He's always around. I know he'll be watching this broadcast later tonight, and we can't thank him enough for all he does for us here on CSN.
1st and 10 now for the Jaguars. This is Strauss. He goes over the right side. Inside the 30. He may go. Inside the 10. Touchdown. 34-yard touchdown by Jake Strauss with 5:48 to play in the fourth quarter. And the Jaguars making a little noise here in the fourth.
It's a good lesson for our younger guys to learn here who are getting some playing time on defense. You gotta play a full 4 quarters here, and it's good for Fort Zumwalt West that they didn't give up and they've punched a few in. And I tell you what, I'll take responsibility for that touchdown, but I'm gonna get out of here, turn it back over to Peter Demos.
That's Patrick Walsh, CBC's Director of Communications. Thank you, sir.
You bet. Good to be with you.
Yeah. That's Patrick Walsh. Peter Demos will hop back on here, but Logan Ponte will now attempt the extra point for Fort Zumwalt West. I don't think I've said the kicker's name right once tonight for Fort Zumwalt West, and hopefully I got it right this time. Ponte's left-footed, and he's going to try to drill this one through. And it's a line drive kick that goes through, and it is a 48-14 game. Now in favor of CBC with 5:48 to play in the fourth quarter. As we said, follow CSN on Facebook and Twitter for information on upcoming broadcasts. You can search the Cadet Student Network on Facebook and at CBC CSN on Twitter. From the classroom to the court, from the field to the stage. If it's happening at CBC, you'll find it on CSN. Connect with us anytime, cbccadets.org/CSN. My name's Randy Molman, Peter Demos alongside, and the Jaguars are putting it together here in the second half. 2 touchdowns within 10 minutes and a couple of good drives. Granted, CBC has a lot of their second and third string players in, but the Jaguars not giving up, still playing hard, and that's what the coach asked of them at halftime.
Absolutely, absolutely. That's what you need them to do, and quite frankly, I'm pleased that Coach Pingle is allowing some of the starters to rest up a little bit and give some of the other kids a chance to play. He's got enough of a cushion that I think he feels comfortable doing that right now.
So CBC now will return the kickoff. Heading back is number 14 for the Cadets, Antoine Higgins. And it looks like 38, Diodne Frost. I'll confirm that in just a second. Ponte will kick. There it is. Line drive kick. Yep, it's Frost. He'll take it at the 6. He goes to the right side now, across the 10, looking for room. Now bounces even farther outside, cups it upfield, and he's run out of bounds at the 23.
Now see, when you catch a deep ball like that, you just don't immediately run to the right sideline, even though a return right is. You run right up the middle, full for about 5 or 6 yards, then you cut to the right. That way it kind of freezes everybody, and they have to stay in their lanes. Otherwise, if you cut right to the sideline like that, everybody knows that's where you're going, so you go.
So we get out to the 25-yard line, and it'll be first down and 10 for CBC with 5:40 to play. 34-point lead for the Cadets. Host of offensive players that haven't seen the field a lot this year. Anthony DeGrief is on the field. Brett Gabbert in at quarterback. Number 14, Antoine Higgins in the backfield, and he gets the carry, spins off a tackle, gets across the 30 to the 34.
Incidentally, when you do the Mizzou game tomorrow, there's a kid named Tyler Manny. You familiar with Tyler?
Tyler Manny.
It's SEMO.
Yes.
He's the son of the head coach at Lafayette High School, and if the ball gets near him, he catches it.
Tyler Manny. I will remember that name.
M-A-N-N-E.
And I'm sure I will announce that name several times tomorrow.
Oh, because his father's going to be there, and his father would love you to mention his name a couple of times if he gets in the game.
I was going to say, if he makes a catch, I will definitely be mentioning it. There's a flag.
He'll definitely catch. He'll get a couple of balls. I'm not familiar with the quarterback for SEMO this year. I don't know who that's going to be. I saw 3 games last year, and they have a kid who's a wide receiver named Roberts, who you keep an eye on him. He's a really good Robert, really, really good. I'm sure Mizzou wishes they had him on their team. I don't know, Mizzou, what do they got in the way of
Mizzou has receivers coming back this year. Their entire receiving core has 10 total catches in their career. So they're inexperienced, very athletic, have some speed. They have a freshman receiver they recruited this year, 6'7", who will probably get a little playing time. So it'll be interesting. They're going to be raw, and they don't have a lot of experience.
Well, they're not worn out by catching too many footballs.
So far, only in practice.
Okay.
And the defensive line will be very interesting without Shane Ray and Marcus Golden, who both went to the NFL, and then Harold Brantley, who is their best tackle, is out for the season after a car accident, tore his knee.
Oh, jeez.
Yeah. So 3 of their best linemen will be out this year. So it'll be interesting. They're raw at a couple of positions, but Gary Pinkel's done a real nice job with recruiting the last few years. So we'll see what happens.
It's a nice little out pattern to number 12.
It was. Number 12 is Linnell Boyd Jr.
He picked up, about 7-8 yards, something like that, huh?
Should be a second and a long 3. Gabbert takes the snap, hands it to Diodne Frost. Frost over the left side. Didn't get much. I don't think he got anything. So it'll be 3rd and a long 3 for the Cadets. 3:54 and counting, 48-14 CBC. The Cadets are driving. They're on the 44-yard line of Fort Zumwalt West. Brett Gabbert, the freshman quarterback, is in the game. He's played the entire second half. Frost rumbles up the middle. He's going to get a first down. Just enough. Got to the 40.
Well, being from Las Vegas in the gambling world, I'm willing to give you 1,000 to 1 odds for $1. If you take Summy West, then I'll take CBC. 1,000 to 1 odds.
If the spread is 50, then I'll take it. First down and 10 at the 40 for the Cadets, and they're taking their time here. 15 seconds on the play clock. They're getting the play from the sideline. Missouri State High School rules are a 35 or more point lead, and you'd have a running clock in the fourth quarter. CBC currently leads by 34. That ball is caught over there. Good catch and a tough run afterwards by Trey Haynes.
Well, I'm just hoping.
No, that was Jones. Excuse me, Jones.
Well, I just hope the little Gabbard is, he's 14, so he's got 3-4 years so he can gain a little height and what have you. Be nice if he could get up to his older brother Blaine's height, huh?
The fact that he is only 14, 15 years old playing quarterback.
That's right.
For CBC right now.
He just gave up the ball.
Looks like a fumble, right, and recovered by Fort Zumwalt West. And the Jaguars will take over with 2:38 to play in the fourth quarter. That's scary to think about. He's, 14, 15 years old. My oldest daughter is 14. She's in 8th grade. Just turned 14. I can't imagine a 14 or 15-year-old young man having the maturity to run an offense like this.
Look at UCLA's quarterback. He's Josh something or other. He's a real freshman.
Yep, 18.
True freshman. He's taking over that team.
Fort Zumwalt West now comes out. First down and 10 at the 29-yard line. Jake Strauss still in the game, as well as their tailback, Ethan Staskowitz. And I guarantee you, both are seniors, and even a game like this, they go to those coaches and say, don't think about taking me out of this game.
That's right.
We still want to play.
Well, they need all the experience they can get. Long pass down.
Strauss looking for Staskowitz. It's overthrown.
There's a little tugging on the jersey there.
There sure was. There was some contact. Tyler England was on the coverage. And the flag has been dropped. So we'll see.
But ref is just a little tug.
Yep, pass interference.
I was just showing a little sign of affection. I liked him.
But ref, if I didn't do that, he would have been gone for a touchdown.
What do you think about the penalty in the pros where you go to the offensive where the penalty committed rather than just a 15-yard penalty?
You mean the pass interference call?
Yes.
I like I don't remember. Did it used to be where it was 15 yards unless you were in the red zone? It didn't used to be that way, did it?
I don't think so, no.
So it's always been spot foul?
Yes.
And then if it's in the end zone, it's automatically at the 1.
Yes.
It certainly discourages it. Strauss up the middle. He may go. Strauss is gone. 54 yards. On the quarterback read option. He kept it himself, and he went 54 yards and showed some really good speed on that play.
Yeah, 6 foot and almost 200 pounds. He showed some good speed, quickness on that one.
That is his second touchdown run. He's had a 34-yard touchdown run and a 54-yard touchdown run, both here in the fourth quarter, but a flag is down, and it looks like it's going to get called back.
Oh. I would think that the other teams that are going to play CBC in the next 2-3 weeks would look at that score and say, oh, heck, they scored 21 points. Their defense can't be that good. Little did they know that they're playing against the 3s and the 4s.
That's right. And the score was 48-0.
That's right.
But a hold called on Fort Zumwalt West brings the play back. Jake Strauss, wow. Good speed on that play, though.
Sure
Bursts
was.
up the middle, and he lost everybody. So it's first down and 17 after the flag at the 39. Still 41-14. Staskowitz, and it'll be another flag. Staskowitz took the ball and...
Yep. Motion.
So illegal motion will push him back further. That'll make it first and 23.
We talked about that last week. This motion penalty on the offense, I still don't understand. Do they not hear number 2 or 3? Like I said, all they have to do is know 1, 2, or 3. I think they're just so keyed up and exciting that, and sometimes the quarterback causes it too. It's the inflection of your own quarterback's voice sometimes causes you to jump.
Strauss to Staskowitz. Staskowitz is hit, bounces off a tackler. Hitting him first was number 40, Tyler Enriquez, and then finishing up was Ryan Fogarty, number 28, along with a host of other cadets. That'll make it 2nd and 23. No gain on the play. Ball spotted at the 37-yard line. That's where the line of scrimmage is of Fort Zumwalt West. 1:48 and counting left in this one. Looking for one last drive are the Jaguars. Taking the snap is Strauss. He'll keep it himself. Goes over the right side. Bounces it outside. 40, 45-50, 45-40, 35-30 down the sideline, and finally hit out of bounds inside the 30. Jake Strauss with another big gainer.
Have you seen him throw that kind of speed in the first half? No.
Tyler England hit him out of bounds. And looks like another penalty flag.
You almost feel sorry for West here.
Especially quarterback Jake Strauss, who's had 2 huge runs and now called back for penalties.
He's saying, come on, guys.
Only 1:27 left. Another hold. So that means it'll be 2nd and 24. The ball is spotted at the 42. No, it'll be 2nd and 14. The ball is spotted at the 42.
All I know is that when I'm walking back to the car, I'm about 6 pounds lighter from being in the sauna back there. This press box is a little warm tonight.
It really is. No wind, no airflow at all.
I'm not sure it's not my partner's hot air, but...
That's part of it.
Yeah.
Staskowitz up to the 45. He spins for 3.
Put us together, and maybe that accounts for the loss in weight.
These other people, I feel sorry for these other people in here who had to listen to us all night.
Well, I don't know. Do you think they heard us?
I'm not exactly quiet. Let's put it that way.
No.
3rd and 11 at the 45 for the Jaguars. Coming up on a minute to go here in this one. Strauss hands it to Staskowitz. He fumbles while he's running, and looks like Fort Zumwalt West fell back on it. And it'll be 4th down and 8 now for the Jaguars with 40 seconds left.
Roll the ball.
That bet still goes. 1,000 to 1 odds.
At 50 points?
No.
Fourth and 8 for Fort Zumwalt West. 20 seconds and counting. 18 on the play clock. They'll run one more play here.
Yeah, we got some timeouts left, don't they?
You would think they would use them. We'll see. Staskowitz to midfield. He's hit, drives his legs inside CBC territory to the 48-yard line.
They called a timeout. Yep.
And there's a timeout with 4.7 remaining. 2-yard gain, and the ball turned over on downs is why the clock stopped. That was a 4th down play, and the Cadets will take over now. 1st and 10. 4.7 remaining.
Well, the starters didn't hardly play the second half, did they?
I don't think they did at all.
No.
It looks like this final will hold. It is a 48-14 lead for CBC. They'll go to 3-0. That's 17 straight wins dating back to the last game of 2013. The defending state champs off to a great start. A 66-7 win against Hickman, a 49-14 win over Jeff City, and now looks like a 48-14 victory over Fort Zumwalt West. Gabbert takes a knee, and that's it. The CBC Cadets hold on to win 48-14. The score was 41-0 at halftime. The Cadets score 7 in the second half and win this one 48-14. Peter, the Cadets were in control from the outset.
They sure were. I mean, a minute went by, there was some more points on the board. I mean, another minute, there's another. I mean, my goodness.
They hadn't played 2 minutes in the game yet, and CBC was already up 13-0, and they never looked back. For my partner, Peter Demos, for Patrick Walsh, for all of the CSN crew and students who work so hard on the broadcast, Charlie Hines, Scott Rice, Kyle Hunt, Will Kratz, station manager Max Adamski, and exec producer John Rolfe. Don't forget to follow CBC CSN on Twitter. That's at CBC CSN.
Next week's game is?
Next week's game for the Cadets, they will be taking on Vianney at home, 7 o'clock on September 11th, back at W. Michael Ross Stadium. So we hope to see you then, and if you're not there, we hope you'll check out the broadcast. Me and Peter Demos will be there. And for everyone involved in the broadcast tonight, I thank you very much, and we hope you enjoyed the broadcast as much as we enjoyed bringing it to you. My name's Randy Molman saying good night from Fort Zumwalt West High School.